Hello and welcome to Not Without My Sister, the Minisode, with me, Beatrice McCabe.
And me, Rosemary McCabe.
And today we're going to talk about how annoying it was all week when I was locked out of my computer because I couldn't remember the security question 2, what did you want to be when you were growing up? So obviously...
Are you joking?
No. I put in all the obvious ones and nothing was correct. So obviously on this day...
Wait, let me think. What
Okay.
did you want to be when you grew up?
Yeah.
A mini pop.
I put that in. I put it in with a capital M, small m, a hyphen, everything.
A singer?
Don't know. A fashion designer?
I don't think you wanted to be a fashion designer when you were a kid.
But
though,
that
did
fashion wheel thing I did, that fashion wheel
you? I mean,
non-stop.
everyone had that fashion wheel. Didn't mean they wanted to be fashion designers.
It meant that I did. I was constantly doing that, like hatching those skirts. Being an actress? Yeah.
I don't feel like you ever wanted to be an actress, did you?
I
We don't say actress now. Maybe we should say actor.
Well, back in the day, I said actress.
all genders.
I wanted to be an actress. I wanted to be Kate Winslet in Sense and Sensibility. Remember, we had this conversation. I literally was like, why is that not me?
But that's not, I want to be an actress. That's like, I want to be in the 19th century.
No, I want, maybe also, I wear empire waist dresses. I wanted to be an actress.
Oh my God, they're very unflattering. And you know what made me truly realise that? Bridgerton. Because everybody in that show was positively skeletal. And they still weren't flattering.
But you know, they're not bad. I mean, well, I was... Okay,
Oh,
go on.
desperate.
So, what did you want to be when you were growing up? Cool.
I mean... Why must you vex me so early on in the minisode? I think there was a period where I wanted to be a vet. Just like, there was probably a week where I particularly liked the dog. And I was like, I want to be a vet. And then
Mom
mostly
wanted
I
you
just
to
wanted
be a
to be a
teacher.
writer, or I wanted to be a journalist. Mom really wanted me to be a teacher. Dad wanted me to be a pilot.
Did he?
Yeah, very well paid. Get into Aer Lingus now, very well paid. You can retire young, get a great salary, and you don't work that much. Who's obsessed with it?
I don't know. I did hear from... I don't know what... Mom, I don't think they cared what I was. They had no ambitions for me, no aspirations for me. That's sad.
They just wanted you to stop crying in the back of the car. What? But hang on, did you figure out what the answer to this question was?
No, I had to call the help desk and get them to like override it for me. They couldn't even
My
reset
God,
it.
I wonder what you wrote.
I don't know. I was like, what could I possibly have written? Maybe I didn't. I mean, I did fill it out. What
Maybe
would
you
I
just
have
wrote
said?
something and misspelled it. Maybe you wrote like actor with an ER.
Or maybe I wrote. Maybe I was really woke and I wrote actor, and then this time I wrote actress.
I don't think you were ever very woke though, so I doubt that.
This time I'm saying maybe I was woke. Yeah, like this week when I filled it in, maybe I was woke.
Hang on, you filled it in this week and then you forgot?
No, like I filled in the answers, the empty box.
Okay.
Oh my God. What did you want to be a detective? Because let me tell you, you wouldn't have been great.
You know, actually, that just made me realise, when I was about 13, I got one of these. Do you remember they used to advertise these things on TV that was like the Spy Diary, you know, like the Spy Diary 1995, and it would have like a magnifying glass in it, and it would have a whole lot of clues, and you could keep you could write all your clues down. It was just basically like a filofax, but it was themed. And I was obsessed with getting this one that was like Spy Kids or something. And I only had it about 2 weeks, and I put it somewhere really safe and could never find it again.
Stop. Do you remember that thing that Don made me buy, and it's downstairs rotting in a box? It's like, do you know that subscription? When was this? When we had baby number 1, so now about 9 years ago, right? That murder, what's it called? Murder. Oh, for God's sake, why can I can't
some
remember
murder
anything?
mystery thing,
Yes.
yeah.
And you get a box every month. And we have, I'm not even joking, we have shelves of these boxes downstairs, and each one has like, I know they're brilliant. Actually, now that, you know, pandemic continues, we could actually do it. But anyway, there was one like creme de la creme box, and in it was a big old dirty like Sherlock Holmesian hat covered in petroleum and whatever, and stank to high heaven, and like a bit of a typed out manuscript. What's it called? I'll remember later on. what's it called? Anyway, it doesn't matter. Anyway, so we sat around and we took it out and we spent about 3 nights puzzling over it. We got nowhere. Put it back in the box, put it back in the basement.
You know, I went to one of those escape rooms once.
Love them.
I was crap. Like, beyond crap. Thank God I was there with 2 other people. So we were on like a very small team, but I was... And like, I kept thinking I was good. So I was like, oh, I'm going to crack this. This is what this blah, blah, blah. And then I'd be like, no, that's not even remotely what it's talking about. It was impossible.
I actually love them. They're brilliant. We did one as a team bonding one in the office, but I have to say it brings out the worst in people. Like it is not a team building enterprise. It's more like it just shows who are the most competitive. Like who would kill you to get out of an actual escape room, right?
I did it for Neve's hen as well. My friend Neve, we went to an escape room, and I think I was particularly crap at that as well. Now,
well, I was planning. Do you remember when Mom and Dad came last time, right before lockdown? I was planning on going to an escape room. I thought it would be great crack. Dad would think he would be amazing, and I wanted to see him trapped in an actual escape room. But now it's like the antithesis of like a coronavirus endeavor. You know, let's get into a tiny room and like breathe all over each other in panic.
Well, it'd be fine if you were all in the same bubble and if they were like disinfecting it really well in between people, but I suppose they're not. Everyone's touching all the clues and stuff.
Well, yeah, probably not. I mean, it's something to do when this is all over, right? Or like when we're relatively back to normal. Can't wait to get Dad in an escape room and then just be like, I plan on doing nothing. I just plan on sitting down and going, now, figure it out.
I'd actually love to get Dad in the escape room and then sit outside and watch him on the cameras. I don't even want to be in the room. I just want to watch him doing it.
Maybe that's the way to do it.
You know, Dad the other day actually asked me, he was like, does Brandon like guns? And I went, no, Dad. And he goes, oh, for God's sake, why couldn't one of my daughters have married an American who likes guns? And I was like, his dad and his brother do. I'm sure he can go shooting with them. Excellent.
Excuse me, is this the same dad who actually broke the skin on your leg with a BB gun? Like, should not be allowed near a gun.
Dad.
Yeah, should not be allowed
and
near
also,
a gun.
I mean, Beatrice, I wouldn't mind, but like, he wasn't doing anything with the BB gun. We were talking. He found it in the drawer beside his chair and suddenly went, I wonder if this has any pellets in it. Like, nothing was happening that warranted shooting the BB gun.
The way you were talking.
Fair. That's mean.
Honest to God, though.
What else did you want to be when you grew up?
Cool. I mean, I did want to be cool.
Didn't we all?
That was the whole thing of like going to the American summer camp. I was like, this is going to be this is going to be just the most transformational moment of my life.
And you did have that cool fringe.
Shut up. Anyway, and
I like that
it was
fringe.
an absolute state. I have a picture of it here. Stop smirking. I have a picture of it here. The fact that I was trapped in the woods without a hairdryer in sight.
I actually love those tiny fringes. Sinead Grimes Beach, who I follow on Instagram, has a tiny fringe and I think it's cool. And I thought your tiny fringe was cool. At the time. It hasn't aged as well, but I do think it was cool.
I can't do right now. I can't because I'm raging. You've actually driven me to silence. Okay, so what else did you want to be when you were young? When you were younger, Rosemary, you're not old.
Oh, thanks. I kind of wanted to be famous. I have this star tattoo on the inside of my wrist, just like Giselle Bundchen.
And apparently that's not how they pronounce it. Down in wherever she's from, they call her Giselle Bundchen. Giselle? Yeah, apparently. And anyway, also, she's known as Giselle Bundchen because there are lots of Giselles. It can't just be called Giselle. Anyway,
she has a star on the inside of her wrist.
I've always actually, when I look at that on your wrist, I do always think of her. So, yeah, I know what you mean.
Do you really?
No, of course I don't.
Oh, for God's sake.
The last thing I think of, the inside of Rosemary's wrist, Giselle the supermodel.
I'm about to confess something very embarrassing as it is. So you need not contribute to it, right? So when I got this done, it was because I had just come out of a phase of my life where I really wanted to be famous. I think for a while I was like, I was really afraid of dying and basically leaving no mark on the world.
Oh, I thought you got this done a couple of years ago. You're saying it was recent.
I got this done in Milan. So what age was I? 20. Pipe down. Would you just for a second? So
the breakdancing career had not culminated in a contract with anyone. So what happened next?
One of these days I'm going to hang up and the podcast is just going to end in static. And it's going to be like, people will know that we're no longer speaking.
No, I'll keep talking. It'll be grand. I'll do. I'll
Jesus.
imitate
Anyway.
you as well, and I'll tell all your
Actually,
secrets.
How could I be in any doubt? I'll keep talking. That's like absolutely assured.
And I'll
Anyway,
tell all your secrets. I'll be like, now, channeling
have any
Rosemary.
secrets.
Yes, you do. Channeling Rosemary.
no,
Oh,
you'll
yes.
just lie. You'll just be like, Rosemary did watch Buffy on her first date.
Is that a lie?
That is a fucking lie. Anyway, so I got this tattoo done because I had basically read this really cheesy quote somewhere that it was like, it doesn't matter whether you're famous as long as you're a star to one person. And that's why I decided I wanted to get a star tattoo.
And who was that
Very
person?
basic. Just like a fictional, like any one person. Anyone will do.
You're a star to me.
Oh, I'm a star to Chansey. Well, sometimes. He wasn't that mad about me
He
yesterday
didn't
when I
want to talk
dropped
to
over.
you yesterday. No, he didn't want to talk to you. And then
No,
he
he did
then he
not.
cried when you left.
Oh,
I can't cope with this anymore. They're just like little
very emotional.
emotional maniacs. Honest to God, I can't.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
What do your kids want to be?
YouTubers.
Oh, yeah.
That's
I forgot
literally
about
it.
that.
Like, that's it. There is no ambition beyond being a YouTuber.
Bo wants to be, what is it, a science YouTuber and a gaming YouTuber?
Yeah, he wants to be a science YouTuber and a gaming YouTuber. So he's going to be really knowledgeable, but then in case people start getting bored, he'll start playing games.
What kind of YouTuber does Nash want to be?
I don't know, one who never has to talk to his parents and he's 9. Oh, hold on. So seriously, you wanted to organize things. You wanted to be famous. What did you actually want? Like, but go back to like primary school.
I wanted
Fame was
to
not
be
an
a
option.
writer.
Did you?
I wanted to be a writer. Yeah, and I was always writing like the first chapter of a book and then I'd get bored and be like, and they lived happily ever after by. Or like, and it was a dream.
That's true. I think we might have to ask Mom and Dad. We're going to have to ask Mom and Dad what their recollections are of what we wanted to be.
You have very high opinion of Mum and Dad. I think they're going to remember.
I do, Mom, Dad. I love you both.
You absolute suck up.
Yeah. So, well, back to the Empire waist dress. I feel like I had a couple of those and I thought they were very flattering. Although I actually have to say my life has sunk to entirely new lows. This morning I got up, I made poached eggs, which I have learned to do under lockdown, in just a pot with a little bit of vinegar and salt, and they're a winner. And then I went around the house and I did whatever I was doing. I put on my sports clothes and I had them on when I was making the eggs. And then I walked around the house, I
Right.
tidied up the house. It's now 4 o'clock, so 4 p.m. in the afternoon. And I looked down at my top for what must obviously be the first time in the whole day. And I saw a hardened, massive drop of yellow yolk just hardened to my top. And I thought to myself, poor Don, is what I actually thought. Because there were a couple of moments today where I threw myself over in his direction because it's nearly Valentine's Day. I was like, what
You're
is
like
this?
building up to the big Valentine's Day snog.
Well, so I went in to where he was sitting and I said, listen, I've just noticed this. Has this been on my top all day? And he goes, oh, yeah, I wondered when you'd notice.
Sorry, hang on. Did you have your sports clothes on because you were going to do a Maeve Madden thing? Or was
Yeah.
that just unrelated?
Yeah, I did. And then I didn't. I did.
Your mouth got all tight there.
I did.
No, it didn't.
No, I did. And then the dog had peed on the rug, so we had to take the rug up. I can't. This house. My life. This is not a fashionable life. That's all I have to say.
Well, look, if it makes you feel any better, the other day the cat puked on the rug and then not to be outdone, the dog went and peed on his puke.
Oh,
So-
Rosemary, that's TMI. That's gross.
It's happening us all.
That's actually disgusting, in fairness. That makes me
I
feel
know,
better.
it was absolutely
That
vile.
makes me feel a lot better. That's good.
Yeah, thought it might. We would love to hear, you know what I would love to hear, and I'm going to put this on our Instagram stories. I would love to hear what you do now and what you wanted to do when you were a child, so that I can look at them and create an entirely non-scientific link between what people wanted to do as kids.
I also think it's really interesting to discover what people started studying and what they ended up doing. Like so many of the people that I work with or my friends started one degree and then ended up doing something entirely different like 10 or 15 years later. Like not even related.
My friend Kira did speech therapy in Trinity and then ended up doing journalism and then ended up working in environmental communications.
Well, there you go. Yeah.
So that's very different. Yeah.
Yeah. So I always think that's really interesting. What did you think you were going to want to do and then what did you end up doing?
Actually, loads of my friends, because my friend Kate did PR and now she's a teacher.
Yep.
My friend Emer did art history and now she's a teacher.
See, there you go. Mom, you see, why are you making Mom jealous? Why are you rubbing salt in the wound? When are you going to become a teacher? Oh, you were a teacher this year with us.
Okay.
An extremely
And on
successful
that note-
teacher. And I did the teacher that honestly just elicited the email that was sent to me last week. Dear Mrs. Kirkland, unfortunately, Bo has done none of his lessons over the last year. There's a long litany of undone assignments that will need to be done before the end of the year. And I said, oh, and I went back in. I was like, obviously, because I've been working with them since like December. And I went back in and I was like, oh, since August.
But listen, was he happy? That's all that matters.
He was not happy.
No.
He was happier.
He was miserable.
He was happier with you. He was happier with you than he is with us. He thought he was unhappy, but he didn't know what real unhappiness was.
He used to call me the worst aunt, and then he met you and he realised you're the worst aunt. Thank you all so much for listening. Like I said, we'd love to know what you wanted to be versus what you do be now, what you turned out to be. And you'll catch a full episode every Tuesday, Minisode on Fridays. And if you have 2 seconds and you'd like to give us a rating and a review on iTunes, we would really appreciate it. And we particularly appreciate the person this week who left us a review and said, love the podcast. It's my absolute favourite. Listen to it all the time. I laugh so much, and gave us 1 star.
Thanks for that.
Bye.
Bringing down all the averages. Bye.
Not Without My Sister is produced by Liam Garrity, sound and original music by Don Kirkland, and our original illustration is by Lindsay Nielsen.
Not Without My Sister is a member of The Warren.
As is our podcast, The Critter Shed.
For more great podcasts, hop along to thewarren.ie.